Hello everyone, this is us328 with another Kerbal Space Program challenge. Now, unlike the other challenge where we basically were taking a step back in time, going back to World War II, and creating trying biplanes to bomb and rocket and all that other stuff, the Space Center, well, we had an update. And it's a science update! Yay! And we're going to be doing a little bit of science with this one, although it's not with the science parts. Sorry guys. Sorry Mystery Goo. Sorry Science Junior. Or Science Senior, by the way. We are going to actually do something called the Eternal Flight. Yes, the Eternal Flight, you heard me right. And what better aircraft to do than with the Eternal Flyer? Whose description is, I think we broke physics, and aerodynamics, and flight, and everything else. And I think it was this guy's fault right here. See the guy walking right there, the scientist? Yeah, I think he did something to this. Anywho, this is... basically, this was supposed to be another bomber, using the B-9 Aerospace, woo, right to the wings, B-9 Aerospace and its stock aircraft parts, and it turned out to do something else, and you'll see what it is. Okay? And this is basically using the dihedral wing setup, the semi-dihedral wing setup, and the normal wing setup. Using heavy lifting B-9 Aerospace wings with 2 max size stabilizers and tons of air intakes. Now, I'm gonna go off to the runway. I'm gonna skip there. Ooh, a little bit like. Bye. We'll see you at the runway. We're gonna head down to the runway, and we are going to show you why we call this the Eternal Flyer, and then describe the challenge as it flies. Yes, I want to clear the runway. No one should know about the Abominator. Alright, now we're on the runway, and we are rolling pretty fast for this thing. Okay. Alright, so now, here's what I want you to notice first off, is, yes, this is a really big plane. Not gonna lie, it is big. Second, I want you to watch the shadow in front of the plane, as well as the speed indicator and how much throttle I'm using. Okay? So I'm gonna put SAS on. Gonna set up the engines. Oh my gosh, it's loud. And very little throttle. Hopefully it'll start moving sometime. There we go. Ta-da! We're airborne already! Very slowly, take it towards the skies. And we're gonna let it build its speed just a little bit longer. There we go, 42, 43, 44, 45. Cut the throttle. We're gonna let it do its thing. So now you're gonna watch, it's gonna pitch up naturally. And okay, it's just gonna pitch up naturally because there's so much lift on it. And it's gonna start to go into a stall, wait for it, and stalling. Now watch what it's gonna do. It's gonna naturally rebound, and once it hits 3.7, I think it is, 3.7 or 3.5, 5, 6, 3.7, there we go. Okay, now once it's at this speed, you'll notice it is not going up and down. It is actually maintaining a leveled flight all on its own. Okay? And all I had to do was give it that initial boost up. Now, of course, if I move it around, it's not going to want to stay natural, but we're not gonna, because this is, quote-unquote, the Eternal Flight. Okay, this is basically where it can fly forever. And of course we're staying relatively low because we want to use up as much of the atmosphere as we can. Right, Furbo? I guess that means yes. Alright, so now time to describe the challenge. Of course, the challenge is to create an aircraft that can maintain quote-unquote eternal flight. I'm going to keep using quote-unquote eternal flight because I'm not sure if it has an actual name. I'm going to call it eternal flight. Hopefully this gets coined by some scientist that's experimenting in aerodynamics, or flight, or something. Maybe me, because I am studying to be an aerospace engineer. Anyways, Of course, it has to be able to maintain this sort of flight characteristic. It must be on Kerbal, and it cannot have any cheats. You cannot hack gravity to maintain eternal flight because that would be way too easy. It's gotta do it on its own with normal Kerbal gravity. Okay? It must be able to do this with only under 100 parts. And of course I'm at 91. You must make it as heavy as possible. And it must be going as slow as possible. Okay? We are going really, really slow right now. From this perspective, we are moving as fast as a snail. Of course, if I look down, it's not much faster. That would be much faster, actually. I'll tell you about the story of the glider another time. I was flying a glider and pretty much hovered in place. But anywho, it wants to go as slow as possible, and the angle of attack counts. The lower the angle of attack is, the more points you'll get. Yes, we are going back to the point system. And of course, there's been a slight adjustment since the last time I issued a challenge via video. Now, hopefully YouTube's commenting system and all that will get in the way of this, but I'm going to need your guys' help and go over to the Kerbal Space Forum, Kerbal Space Program Forum, and under this challenge, you are going to post your photos or videos, wherever the photos and videos may be, of you doing this challenge. Of course, you must prove that it is under 100. It is under 100 parts. It is in fact heavy as possible. You are not cheating. I'm not going to show you it because for some reason Fraps hates it when I show it. And of course, it's probably easy to tell I am using no cheats. And let's see here, what else? Oh yes, of course you gotta get it as slow as possible. You gotta show for a while that it is gonna maintain eternal flight. We're gonna say to the end of this runway here, maybe off into the ocean, whichever you prefer. And then you gotta show your angle of attack. So this ball cannot be like that. Okay, you gotta show it. And if you'd like to do it inside the cockpit, that's great. That's great, but I still need to see the ball and the speed. It's got to be surface speed, because if I switch it to orbital speed, it's going to be like, what the hell, that is way over 50 miles, meters per second, not miles per hour. They measure it in tons, but they measure speed in meters per second. What is up with you, Kerbal? You're turning into Britain. Except the Britons. A little bit the exact opposite. Anywho, let's go into the scoring system. Okay, the Centino. You're going to put down the scoring system, right? Good. Okay, so here's how the scoring system works. Each part that you accumulate will count against you. It is 100 parts minus the total part count. Okay, so you cannot get all the 100 points of it, obviously, but you can get 99 at the most if you actually figure out how to use only command module. Have fun. Your total weight is exactly that. It is your total weight score. Okay, the heavier it is, the more weight you accumulate, the more points you accumulate. So right now it is 15.41 tons. So it is in fact going to be 15.41 points. Next is the angle of attack. It's basically your angle of attack minus 90. The lower it is, the higher you will score. So if it is at 0, you will actually get the 90 points. However, if it's not at 0, like where I am, it's just slightly above 10. I will count that as 11. Okay, then that will be 79 points. And then finally your speed minus your 50 minus your speed. Okay, if it's over 50, it's gonna obviously penalize you. Excuse me. It's gonna penalize you there. And so, with that in mind, I got 91 parts, 15.41 tons. I am at an angle of 0.11. and my speed is 3.7 meters per second. Okay, and just to clarify some of the rules, it can be modded. It doesn't have to be. Okay, if you decide to go without mods, there's an entirely separate section for you. Okay, you're still going to be under the same scoring system, the same rules, but you just, if you're going to be considered part of the stock side, you cannot have any mods. Okay, if you have mods installed and you like to be in part of the stock, go right ahead. 2 entries per person. Okay? Anywho, the amount of engines doesn't count. What you use for fuel or whatnot doesn't count. How many hogs, it doesn't count. Okay, landing gears don't count. Don't really count as points. All this is, I'm talking about point-wise. None of this counts. You must have a Kerbal. I forgot to mention. You gotta have 1 Kerbal at least. If you carry more, good for you. Oh, look, I'm already past the runway and I'm about to head over into the ocean, so this would show that I'm, in fact, guaranteed eternal flight. And it can't be doing what we call dolphining, which is where it will go up, it'll stall, it come back down, and go up and stall, and it'll keep doing that. Like a dolphin in the ocean will come up, down, up, down, up, down. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't know, you obviously never seen a dolphin. And you never see Morgan Freeman making a tail for a dolphin. Well, references. Let's see here. Anything else I'm missing? My total score. Gino, could you put up that score while I am thinking of what else I need to say? Oh yeah. Of course. Of course, I'm forgetting the bonus challenge. Yes, the bonus challenge. Okay, you must be, if you want to get bonus points, which I'm not going to show because it is actually rather dangerous for me to do it with this one, you must be able to land it. It doesn't matter where. It could be in the water. It could be on the runway. It could be on the freaking top of the VA building if you, the VAB, it could be on top of the VAB building for all I care. You just have to land it. Okay? If you land it, you basically get, instead of the, see here, oh, and your total weight score will basically, let me take this through, hold on, be back in a second. Okay, here. Okay, I'm back. So I was trying to figure that out. Oh yes. The total, actually the total attack score gets set to 90. Okay, so it's not much of a bonus. If you have a high angle of attack, it's worth doing. If you don't, it's not. Okay. And upon that, if it stays intact when you land, no parts destroyed or anything, then it is the full 90. If parts do come off during landing, then it's not going to be the full 90. Instead, you're going to get about 5 points taken off for not having it at 90. Okay? 5 points taken off the full 90. So if you're at 5, it's your decision. Like right now, would I want to go for it? I might. I'm really close to 5. I'm not going to show you it because it is really, really dangerous with this one. If you kill the Kerbal, you basically do not get the bonus. You get everything else, but you don't get the bonus. Alright? Actually, you know what? I will show you guys. Because I'm going to hear someone out there say, oh, you got to show us, otherwise it won't count. Okay, I will show you. I will land right back at Kerbal, and it's actually getting dark, I noticed. Ooh. Can we see the moon? Is the moon out? Is the moon out? Is the moon out? I have Jebediah on the moon. Is the moon out? No. Where's the moon? Oh, the moon's behind us. Never mind. Okay, so anyways, yeah, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to try to land it without taking any parts off. And Sinchino, would you mind? If I do land, please add to that score, please. Okay, good. When you land it, you cannot use your engine, by the way. rolling really slowly for some reason. Oh, that's why. That's I'm like, why is it rolling really slowly? Oh, I'm turning it. Woo, that shift. Yeah, we're gonna turn around, come back. Okay. Um, I find it really difficult with this aircraft to land, and so that's why I'm putting this as the bonus, because I see that's gonna happen with other people. And while this is happening, you know what? We'll speed this up, and we will come back as soon as I land. Okay, guys? Okay. I'll talk to you when I land. There we go, we need to go. Woo! We landed! Yeah! Okay, and... yeah, and by the way, for it to count as full landing, you must be able to stop fully. Okay. Yeah, that's my, basically tip. Now it's gonna start to roll back, possibly. And, so yeah, that's the rules. There you go. Am I missing anything, Senchino? No? Okay. Alright, so I will see you guys on Kerbal Space Program Forum. And yes, indeed. I will see you there. This is Asphalt 328 signing out.